Welcome back to the ultimate political playbook. Today, we're unraveling the aftermath of Trump's shock and diving into Biden's strategic chess moves for the upcoming election. If you're ready for a roller coaster ride through twists and turns, we're here for it.
They dump them on the border and they pour into our country.
But while campaigning, Trump's also fighting 91 criminal charges, and he'll spend much of the U.S. election season in a courtroom. Also upending the presidential calendar, 2 possible Supreme Court rulings.
The ultimate showdown in 2024 will only get better. It's like a high-stakes reality TV series where Joe Biden, the comeback kid from the Dems, squares off against Donald Trump, the comeback king from the GOP. Picture it, they're battling it out for the top job in the land with all the drama and suspense of a blockbuster movie sequel.
Potential candidates have ever confronted. Here's a look at those challenges and how Trump will try to turn them into opportunities. The 2024 election is gearing up to be a face-off between the oldest nominees in history. And it's going to be the first presidential rematch in the U.S. since 1956, when President Dwight Eisenhower...
In one corner, you've got Biden, trying to keep his seat in the Oval Office like he's holding on to the last slice of pizza at a family reunion. And in the other corner, Trump's back for round 2, like a relentless marathon runner who forgot to take a water break. But wait, there's more. Trump's got a new twist in his storyline. He's been convicted of more felonies than you can shake a stick at, making history as the first president to get caught red-handed with his fingers in the cookie jar.
Candidates after Trump easily beat out his Republican rivals, including Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley.
Donald Trump's strength really shows how much of a hold he has on the party's base, the core voters. They are willing to swing with his different positions on issues that aren't always aligned with a certain feeling that's been long baked into.
As the campaign heats up, they're tackling significant issues like it's a buffet of hot topics. Abortion, border security, maybe they should build a wall around the debate stage, healthcare, because everyone loves a good medical drama, and education, where every answer is multiple choice, but none of them seem right. And don't forget the star-studded lineup of concerns. The economy, more ups and downs than a roller coaster. Foreign policy, like navigating a diplomatic minefield in stilettos. LGBT rights, climate change where the heat is on literally, and democracy.
Could decide if Trump can hold public office after Colorado State removed him from its ballot for stoking the 2021.
New polling shows some bad news for the Biden campaign. Donald Trump leads the president in several key swing states.
And President Biden's support among younger Black and Hispanic voters, it does seem to be fraying.
Trump is striding ahead by 6 points among voters, with third-party candidates adding a sprinkle of uncertainty, akin to toppings on a pizza, according to the New York Times Siena poll. Expectations are high for Trump in Thursday's debate. 60% predict he'll perform like a maestro orchestrating a symphony, while Biden has a more reserved 46% betting on his ability to surprise, perhaps with a steady but surprising strategy.
They can win is if they can do something with Trump. Because we have an incompetent, the worst president in the history of the United States of America.
That's the message from Donald Trump as week 4 of his criminal hush money trial begins in New York. But despite the former president spending more time in court than on the campaign trail, a college poll shows him still with a slight edge over President Biden in key battleground states, including big leads in Georgia and Nevada, while President Biden is only up in Wisconsin. The New York Times chief political analyst writes, Trump's strength is largely thanks to gangs among young Black and Hispanic voters, key groups that historically vote Democrat.
Morning Consult calls it a draw. CBS gives Trump a narrow edge, and Biden squeaks ahead by a point in the latest Fox News poll. This debate, it's the Super Bowl of politics, where every move is scrutinized like a quarterback's play. 16% of voters are poised to switch their allegiance like a DJ flipping tracks based on Thursday night's performance. Across those pivotal swing states, Trump is painting them red like targets at a fairground shooting gallery.
Very difficult to bounce back from that. But on the flip side, they're also happening much earlier than we typically see presidential debates, which reflects the fact that people are voting earlier than they used to because of early voting in so many states. So, the whole landscape has changed somewhat here. But it's going to depend on how these
pollsters are noting Biden's slipping support among crucial demographics. Black, Latino, and younger voters who were once his steadfast supporters now as elusive as a unicorn in a forest. Even in Democratic bastions like New York, where Biden's lead has dwindled faster than ice cubes in a summer cocktail.
Are both campaigns going to maybe use this new information to adjust how they're delivering their message?
Well, I think the Biden campaign will probably be heartened by the fact that the danger to democracy question, which the Biden campaign and President Biden keeps bringing up about former President Trump, that does trend pretty high among issues considerably, in fact. But the traditional issues still remain, and they still remain relevant, including the economy and immigration. And those are two issues where the President Biden, really struggles.
All right, Douglas Ader.
It's undoubtedly a political roller coaster ride. We'll have to strap in tighter because the twists and turns are just beginning.
The new Supreme Court Justice, radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe? Who's on your list?
Right. Gentlemen, I think we've ended this.
When President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump face off in their highly anticipated debate, it won't just be casual, it's a clash of titans under a revamped rulebook aimed at reining in their fiery exchanges. CNN has laid down the law, microphones muted to stifle interruptions, farewell, will you shut up, man, and a ghostly absence of a live audience to quell the chaos.
Will be a part of this debate. It'll be the two candidates and the two moderators in the room there. Kristen, you heard mention that the microphones will be turned on for the designated speaker at the time they are designated to speak in the debate. His opponent's microphone will be turned off at that time. Timing lights are visible to the candidates throughout the debate, so they'll know when their time is running out. And the two candidate podiums are 8 feet apart from each other. Obviously, that's a lot closer than these two candidates were to each other on the debate stage compared to 4 years ago when we were in the height of COVID.
And what are the rules regarding how each candidate is supposed to
be, if you will, and another 1-minute response from candidate A, and then it flips the other way, staying within the broad topic area, but a different slice of a question related to that topic. Candidate B will get 2 minutes at that starter question. Candidate A gets a minute to respond. Candidate B gets a minute to respond. Of course,
scheduled a handful that the Presidential Commission was planning to do that wouldn't start either until the fall. Instead, we are having this debate earlier than ever before. In fact, before either of these men are officially their party's nominee. That normally happens during the conventions that occur over the summer. But this will be the first of those two debates.
Armed with only pens, notepads, and water bottles on stage, this debate promises to be a verbal joust of sharp wit and rhetorical prowess, with CNN's referees, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, prepared to enforce the rules with an iron fist.
A presidential election season that they will be in the same room side by side to make their pitch to voters to try and garner those independents, which will be so key to this election. And adding to the unprecedented nature will be the rules that are accompanying this.
It's debate night, and amidst the stillness of the empty studio, every word exchanged between these two heavyweights will echo louder than ever before.
Also, no opening statements. There will be a 90-minute debate with 2 commercial breaks. Also, muted microphones. That's something we haven't seen in the past. When it's not your turn, that microphone will be going off, which means we're unlikely to see moments like this.
People know.
He doesn't want to.
Glenna, before you speak here, we're going to have the president. The former president is about to speak as he walks towards the camera. Let's listen in for just a moment.
In a landmark New York courtroom drama, jurors threw the book at Donald Trump, finding him guilty on all 34 felony counts for cooking up business records to bury hush money payments to a porn star, all in a bid to swing the 2016 election his way.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area.
Former President Donald Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records on April 4th, marking the first criminal charges for any former U.S. president. The charges stem from hush money payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election.
Now, Trump, the comeback kid of the GOP, faces a future less sunny than his tan, with potential penalties ranging from community service to a presidential suite and a slammer for each charge of fudging those pesky business records.
The jury in America's chosen. It was a process that Donald Trump's attorney was part of. The jury heard 5 weeks of evidence, 5 weeks. And after careful deliberation, the jury reached a unanimous verdict. They found Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts.
Scheduled just before the GOP convention where Trump's hoping for a triumphant return, the sentencing date on July 11th could turn out to be more fiery than 4th of July fireworks.
Ability will likely hinge on the purpose of that payment. Falsifying business records in New York is a misdemeanor, but it can become a felony when there is an intent to defraud that includes an intent to commit, aid, or conceal another crime. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has alleged that Trump falsified business records to...
The scheme violated New York election law, which makes it a crime to conspire to promote a candidacy by unlawful means. The $130,000 wire payment exceeded the federal campaign contribution cap. And the false statements in AMI's books violated.
With more legal drama possibly waiting in the wings, Trump's political playbook might need a rewrite. But for now, it's clear the gloves are off and the race for 2024 just got a whole lot more interesting.
Happened yesterday in New York City. The American principle that no one is above the law was reaffirmed. Donald Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself. It was a state case, not a federal case, and it was heard by a jury of 12 citizens, 12 Americans, 12 people like you, like millions of Americans who served on juries. This jury is chosen the same way every...
If you found the last part shocking, buckle up for the conflicting ideas between Trump and Biden on immigration. They're as polarizing as they are provocative.
We're going to talk about immigration now, gentlemen, and we're going to talk about families within this context. Mr. President, your administration separated children from their parents at the border, at least 4,000 kids. You've since reversed your zero-tolerance policy, but the United States can't locate the parents of more than 500 children. So how will these families ever be reunited?
Children are brought here by coyotes and lots of bad people, cartels, and they're brought here, and they used to use them to get into our country. We now have as strong a border as we've ever had. We're over 400 miles of brand new wall. You see the numbers, and we let people in, but they have to come.
Joe Biden has been navigating immigration policies like a circus clown juggling bowling balls, flipping them back and forth while trying to manage record-breaking border crossings that are spiking like a kid on a sugar rush. His administration started by reversing many of Trump's stringent measures, only to face renewed challenges as illegal border crossings surged. This prompted Biden to resume some border wall construction and reinstate deportation flights, actions he justified reluctantly due to congressional appropriations and court rulings.
These 500-plus kids came with parents. They separated them at the border to make it a disincentive to come to begin with. Real tough, we're really strong. And guess what? They cannot, it's not coyotes didn't bring them over, their parents were with them. They got separated from their parents.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump's immigration playbook resembles a bizarre summer camp saga gone wrong, featuring family separations, talk of rounding up undocumented individuals en masse, and proposals that sound like they're lifted from a dystopian novel. His extreme deportation plans promise mass detentions, skipped hearings, and a posse of deputized officers from Republican-led states. aiming for a scale that rivals organizing a county fair.
If I'm worried about the next 5 months, we could end up in World War III with this person. He's the worst president ever. The Biden administration is in the middle of the largest border invasion in world history. There's never been a border in the world that's like this border that we have, where probably 17, 18 million people by now have entered our country illegally.
This seesaw of policies has turned immigration into a political merry-go-round, spinning faster as elections loom large, leaving both sides scrambling to capture votes amid a backdrop of contentious court battles and legislative stalemates.
Look at the black population. They're voting for Trump. They're voting for Trump. You, look at you. Thank you.
Thank you for watching today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth analyses of political developments. Hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.